What's going on, guys? My name is MrDalekJD, and in this video I'm going to be giving you an ultimate guide to FIREBASE Z. This is going to be your one-stop hub for absolutely everything you'll want to need and know to jump into this map and make the absolute most out of your games. We're covering early game setup, mid game and late game, best high round strategies for round 100, and the main Easter egg and side Easter eggs to help you out for the late game. Whether you're a beginner or you've played zombies for years, you'll find this video useful. If you do, I'd love to know in the comment section below. While you're down there, you might as well click the like button if you enjoyed too. I've been creating videos like this for Call of Duty Zombies for years now, but if this is your first time here, be sure to subscribe because there'll be more videos like this to come. Beginning on round 1, we are going to want to take the teleporter straight away, and I'm sure most of you know this trick, but some of you would be like, hang on a minute, you got to open this for 1250 and we don't have 1250. Well, there's a really cool parkour trick where we can get onto that ledge there and then jump up onto there. This may be patched by the time you're watching this video. Now, I don't want you killing any zombies during this because we want to save them all for when we get into the FIREBASE. So to do this, get in this corridor, run straight vertically, and then last minute, take a quick dive, and then as you see there, spam your jump button as you jump from there, and your character should mantle onto the ledge and make their way up here. And there you can go. You can travel to the FIREBASE without spending any points. And this is fantastic because we want to start doing trials pretty much instantly once we're here. If you start doing trials on round 1, there's a very good chance that you can get the Ray K by round 4 or 5 without needing to do anything else. It's amazing. And since we spawned with points, we can actually activate the trial and start one. As you can see, kill any zombies in the location. Helipad, that's where we are. So I'm going to take full advantage and try and get this challenge done as soon as possible, really. Now, if you aren't familiar with trials, you didn't really do too much in D Machina. Basically, you can stack these by continuously buying more trials once this one's completed. That way we can get our reward available rarity to bump up from common all the way to legendary, as legendary is one of the ways that will guarantee you getting the wonder weapon. But this is the ultimate way to play this map every time you play it. It's going to guarantee you're maximizing everything you can do in the map to get yourself set up and get stuff as low as possible. So I didn't get my legendary reward till round 7, but that's absolutely fine. Let's see, what are we getting? Oh, we got the wonder weapon. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Ooh, that's what we like to see. So there we go. That shows that you can get the wonder weapon from it and on a super early round. It here's me getting it as low as round 4, which is definitely, you know, an absolute dub. So if you get as lucky as I did then you're going to have an absolutely great game. And now with this set up, we're going to go and open up the map. So you can see there are 3 ether reactors around the map, which we need to activate. And that's our power to get us Pack-a-Punch. I'm sure most of you are pretty familiar with this by now, so I won't spend too long explaining this at all, but you see these ether reactors are basically like power switches, but to charge these, you're going to need to kill zombies in the room that these units are in, and as you see, their souls come out and go into the generators, which is powering up the little charge meter that you see. And once you've done that, it's going to open this scorch defense area, and it also allows you to go into the barracks without having to actually spend any points to open that door. And I'll be showing you later in this video 2 different high round strategies where one involves you keeping that door and the other door closed. But for this game, we're going to ignore that for now, and we're just going to go ahead and get the rest of the ether reactors open. So this one's in the data center. Completing this will open up to the rocky defense and allow you to open this door as well, which if you open, bypasses you having to open these 2 main gates in the helipad, which again, later in the video, we'll explain as one of the high round strategies. But for this game, I'm going to just open both of these anyway, and we'll keep the door in there shut. Final ether reactor is going to be through here, through the multiple area into military command, and then we've got it here. Once those are done, just teleport back to the courtyard and go up to Juggernog, and you'll see that the Pack-a-Punch will have appeared. But I'm sure you guys already know that. But another thing to note is doing that unlocks the Wonder Fizz machine, where you can get yourself a bunch of other perks. So I'm going to go ahead and grab Speed Cola. Now, this guide will go into the main Easter egg steps and some specific bits that will help you guys out in this guide. But if you want a full dedicated Easter egg guide, I've got it linked in the description or as an interactive eye on your screen right now. But let's dive into how to get a free Jug perk, as well as potentially getting a free legendary weapon. So make your way above Juggernog, and then you want to be staring at this bunny that's just lying here outside in this out of bounds area. You just want to stare at it for a few seconds, and you'll see that the bunny's head will have turned. And then in a few more seconds of staring at it, suddenly you won't be able to ADS or move anymore, and this bunny is going to float up towards us. It's going to teleport us into the dark ether for a really cool little Easter egg where we're in a brand new area which we don't get to play in after this. And there's going to be this floating bunny which we're going to have to just chase around this section of the map. You're going to have zombies spawning, you're going to have mimics. What you want to do is just basically run up to the bunny and shoot it until it's moved about 3 times or so. And the reward is the loot crate, very similar to the coffin dance Easter egg from D Machina. You don't need to kill any zombies in this area. Just simply do this until you get the reward crate. All the zombies will despawn and you get to open it. But you don't have very long, so don't wait around for this. But as you can see, we've got 3 Juggernog, and I got myself, what is that? A Diamati, tier 3. We're going to leave that. But as you can see, there is a chance of getting the Reiki from this, as you see on the clip on screen. But there we go. No need to buy Juggernog. You can guarantee yourself to get it every single game. And I highly recommend you do that every single time you run a game of Firebase Z. It's one of those side Easter eggs that you just have to do. But now we're going to work on the main Easter egg steps to unlock a essence trap, as it's going to be very useful for some of the later things we'll want to show you in solo, such as getting the free Reiki and a bunch of other things. It's basically how you can guarantee the last zombie to not actually spawn in the map. It's really cool. Go over and speak to Dr. Perk. So once you've spoken to Dr. Perk, Ravenov will basically mention that he's got something for you, and it's going to be an ID card that's going to be the first part of this Easter egg. So go back to the courtyard and talk to Ravenov and wait for him to finish his speech. As you can see, here is his ID badge, and we're going to use it to open 3 containers that are around the map. So the first one, ironically, is the door that we didn't open. If you come in here, go up to this locker, you can use the keypad, and you'll pick up one of these little compounds that are sitting in there. Our next one is going to be left of the helipad. You're going to run into the open lot and engineering, and there's going to be this locker here that you can open, and boom, there's our next one. And the third is going to be a military command control room in the colonel's office. You just want to use the locker here, and this will be our final compound. From here, you want to make your way into the field hospital, place these parts on this chemical mixer, and it's going to start doing its thing. But in the meantime, it's going to spawn in quite a lot of hellhounds, and this can really catch you off guard. So just be very, very careful here, because when they spawn, and they do spawn a lot of them, they are vicious. So just keep your wits about you. Definitely train around the barracks, because you don't want to get caught out by any of these dogs. But once that's done, go back up to the machine to transfer the gas dispersal device to this item that you can pick up right here. And you want to come to the OPC and place this all on this air conditioning vent right here. It's going to start lowering some smoke into Dr. Peck's room. Just come to here and watch him notice it, and he's going to start doing a lot of weird chat and dancing, and you're going to have to wait until you get a prompt to speak to him again. But he's then going to mention going to the data center to get the essence trap, which is a really important part because it's going to make our lives very, very nice for solo for some of the other side Easter eggs. And we'll also explain this next Easter egg step properly with the mimics that you need to capture with this trap. So once you're in the data center, you want to go ahead and unlock this memory transference station and then pick up this new essence trap equipment. It works basically like a C4, where you throw it down and then you're going to have to double tap your reload button in order to use it. Although this is a bit like Ghostbusters and a Pokeball, where you're going to want to be trapping mimics on low health using this thing, and it's really cool. But to explain this step really easily, it's going to be a bunch of fake props that are going to be spawned in one certain area. One area can be around the motor pool area here. Another can be in this section here towards the colonel's office, and then in spawn. So I'm just going to do a run of the map, looking around to see if I can see any fake props that a mimic could spawn from. As you see, we have one there, a war machine. And there we go. There's our fake mimic right there. So we want to get him pretty weak. It's about as weak as I'd want him to get. And get him to run over the essence trap, and then double tap our square button to capture this boy. Now in your game, the first spot you'll find it in could be different. Just in my game, I checked there and that was where we found it. So that was our first spot, and you can only do this once a round, and you got to do this for 3 different spots. So that means it's going to take you 3 rounds. So I start this on round 9. I should get this finished by round 11. So I place this into the machine, and you'll see we've got Zabin, which is one of the names of the characters that we needed. And you'll know this is correct as at the end, you'll be given a ID code, and Weaver will give you a quote saying that was correct, and we can move on to the next one. As you can see, Weaver gave us that quote there, so that's correct. So now we just need to move on to the next round and check either spawn or check around there. This is that was correct. We need to push to the next round, and then there'll be 2 locations for us to check, either spawn or around motor pool area. Now with this essence trap, we can actually get a second free perk, which you can do whilst you're doing this mimic Easter egg step if you want to. And in order to do this, we're going to need to find a head. Now this head can spawn in 2 different spots in each of the defenses. So we're going to start off with the scorched defense, and there is a chance that the head could be lying here besides the tank where you get the eyeball for the free Reiki, which we'll go into in a minute. It can be there. As you can see, it's not there in our game. So the other spot that it could be in Scorched Defense it's going to be next to this staircase leading up to this here. But as you can see, it's not there. Going over to Rocky Defense, one head location can be in between these barrels here. If it's not there, then it could be potentially next to this staircase right here. But as you can see, it's not here. Oh, wait. Yes, it is. It's super hard to see that. That is insane. It's highlighted yellow, but that is really, really hard to see. The two locations in jungle defense can be up against these barrels here. And then if not, make your way to these pathways. And in between the middle and the left one, there's a chance the head could be spawned right there. So when you've got the head, you want to pick it up and you won't be able to do anything else. You can't shoot your weapons. You can't reload. You can't do anything else with this thing. You're going to want to carry it over to the field hospital area. And it's essentially just like the golden ball step in D Machina. You just, you can't walk very fast with it, but you want to place this down here on this charging plate. And the next step is you're going to need to weaken a zombie. And this is actually pretty hard with this shotgun. Weapons I've got is making this a challenge. So I'm going to get the Type 63 here. Once you've got a zombie weak, you want to throw down the essence trap. And just like what we're doing with the mimics, except this time we're using it on this zombie. You'll want to trap a zombie and then take your essence trap over to this floppy disk plate here. And it's going to insert it in. And this head is going to give us a very weird, creepy message, which is just a bunch of numbers to open a secret safe somewhere. Now make sure to pick up your essence trap again because we don't want to lose that thing. We're going to need it to complete that mimic Easter egg step. Come upstairs to the military command room and then go into the colonel's office and you'll be able to unlock the safe, which will give us a free perk. And this give us quick revive, which we already have, which is a little annoying. But on the side, you also get a ridiculous amount of hellhounds that spawn. I don't know why you get so many. So grab your perk and then run, because this is just insane. If it's a perk that you've already had, then you can basically just let it sit there and you can grab it at any point in the game when, you feel like you need it. Checking the spawn room now, we can see that we have a load of fake props lying around. And here we go. We've got our mimic that spawned in here. Now that I've got it pretty weak, I'm going to capture it in the essence trap. And that is our second one done. As you can see, that gives us Sokolov, which means that is one of the correct names. So we've only got one more to do. Hopefully this guide's making this seem a little bit more easier. It's literally just looking around the map once per round for a ton of random items to just spawn on the ground. And one of them will pop out the mimic that you need. So our final mimic is going to be somewhere around here. And yeah, just as I expected, it's that pesky little fake common salvage. I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but it doesn't matter where you trap the mimic as long as it's spawned from a fake prop in one of those three locations. Now, as you can see, we've got Brahms, which is the final name we need, and this should give us the floppy disk. There we go. There's our floppy disk, and then we just take it over to planning offices and put it in this quantum mainframe machine right here. And what it's going to do is it's going to start a sequence where this door is going to open, and it looks like we've opened the Dark Ether portal and everything's all great, but Dr. Perk has sort of framed us, so we'll see what happens here. So head back down to Perk and talk to him, and you'll find out that there's still a little bit more to go. And he'll mention about getting Ethereum crystals, and Ravenov will mention that there is a code that will open this right here. Once Ravenov's mentioned the code, just go up to the cabinet and it will give you this new ether meter item. And then our final part we need to start this is going into Scorched Defense and making our way in this hut where you're going to find a shovel. But just before we move on to things, if you've been unlucky to not get the Ray K out of the trials or out of the mystery box and you still don't have it and you want to get it for free, then here's how to get the free Ray K. So make your way into this weapons lab room and pick up the blueprint for the Ray K. Make your way to Scorched Defense and you'll see this burning tank here. There will be a body part that's just spawned here, Dimitri Kalikle, and if you hold your interact, you'll be able to get his eye. Now, whilst building this, we actually pushed on to the next round, which is a assault wave round. On round 13 or 14 onwards, you're going to be prompted to go to a certain defense area and protect this machine. Now, these are fairly easy and fun little waves that break up the monotonous, dog rounds that you'd normally get. All you got to do is just take out all the zombies that spawn here. And once that's done, you'll be rewarded with a max ammo and a carpenter to repair your shield. Now, in the later rounds, like 30 onwards, every time you get one of these rounds, which will be every 10 waves or so, you'll get a boss fight and we'll go into that. Don't you worry. As you can see, we completed it and we get a max ammo and a carpenter. Now with the eyeball, make your way back to the weapon lab and enter the ball here into the retina scan, which is going to give you a locker key right here. Now you want to make your way to barracks, and in between barracks 1 and 2, there's going to be loads of different lockers which you can open. Opening certain lockers is going to spawn in a mimic, and it's pure random. The first mimic that spawns could drop the barrel, which it did, which is pretty lucky. But if not, just keep opening the different lockers in barracks 1 and barracks 2. As you can see, there's tons more lockers that I haven't used my key on. Opening more lockers will spawn in more mimics, and one of them will drop the barrel. And the last part we need drops from a mangler. Now we can actually speed this up and get this drop a lot sooner, because manglers normally spawn at round 15, but if you're this far into the Easter egg where you can begin getting these 3 canister parts, one of them spawns in manglers, and if you do this lower than round 15, you can obviously have them spawn in earlier than round 15 and get the Ray K part that you need a lot sooner. So continuing on with the main Easter egg, we've got 3 canisters that we're going to need to collect. One of them is going to be here in jungle defense. You can get these in any order, but this is going to be a bit of a mini lockdown. So if you make our way over here, you can see we're getting a prompt to dig, and it's going to start a bit of a bubble, a bit like onslaught mode, where there's going to be a ton of zombies that are going to be spawning. Up to you if you want to train these zombies around or kill them. But as you can see, we've got a mangler here, and what you want to do is you want to shoot the mangler's cannon off arm, and by destroying the cannon, it should drop the part. That's how you normally get this part to drop, is by shooting off the cannon. As you can see, we've got the uncharged power cell for the free Ray K right there. Like I said, you can get it from normal manglers that just spawn in. Doesn't have to be during this specific step, but if you want to get it earlier, then you absolutely can. Once that's complete, you'll be able to collect that, and that will be one of your 2 canisters done. So going back to the free Ray K, with that magazine we just got, we want to go ahead and place it down in here to charge it for 2 whole rounds. We can't pick this thing back up until round 18. But that's fine, because in the meantime, we can work on getting the final part for the Ray K while that's charging. So I mentioned earlier about how useful the essence traps are, and as you can see, I've got like 2 zombies left at the end of this round, but I can literally kill this zombie. I don't even have to worry about it, and it's not going to respawn and just be super annoying. So for this step, you're going to want to activate the computer, and you're going to want to watch the radar to see where it stops. Now I'm going to have a little visual on screen to help you out, so you know exactly what number you're going to be looking for on this dartboard. So for me, my first number is going to be 9. And the next number seems to be 15 or 10. And then it goes back to 9 again. As you can see, I've killed the crawler. There is no zombie left on the actual map itself because it's contained within the essence trap, making this step so much easier than having to, like, you know, buy decoys and just chasing zombies around. So 9, 10, 9, and then bullseye. And there we go. Got that part. And boom, there we go. And now we just got to wait one more round for that magazine to charge. Then we've got all the parts. So let's move on to the main Easter egg steps to get the last 2 containers here. Now this one is going to be here next to the field hospital, and you want to dig it up. And as you see, it's going to move when you get close to it. And this is where you're going to need the Ray K. So if you didn't get it yet, or you're about to build it or get it for free, this is what you need to do. You're going to want to press up on your D-pad to change it to this under barrel shot. And shooting at it is going to slow it down, allowing you to pick up the container. Nice and easy. Now the magic is once the zombie has been freed, it's back to the exact same health it was at. So I should be able to put it back inside of the essence trap, and we can stay on this round. So now we'll move on to the final container, which is the mimic container step. And I know this might give people some grief, so we're going to make this super easy. We're going to come to this corner here of the open lot, where it's going to spawn the container, and suddenly there's going to be a ton of mimic ones. What your job is going to be is to look around the containers to try and find the one that does not have any black crystal smoke. As you can see, a lot of the ones we've looked at so far all have these weird black crystals swirling around. You're going to be looking for the container that has absolutely no black smoke in it. It's just a crystal with pure smoke, just like this one. So this is the correct one. So we'll pick it up, and there we go. That's done. With all 3 containers, you now just need to go to each of the ether reactors and just place it into each. There we go. That's it in data center and military command. So here we either say that should do it. Make your way to the OPC. So we do. And you'll see that Perk's basically thrown us a bone, and that was a basic throwaway where it didn't work. This part of the main quest, it seems a little awkward. It's just a bit of radio silence. You don't really know what the heck's going on. So the final step before the boss fight will be for you to access this computer computer and align a satellite. A word of warning though, once you complete this satellite step, you will be entered into the boss fight. You'll have infinite spawning zombies until you activate the cutscene, so please beware and make sure you're prepared. If you're doing this solo or co, I highly recommend, if you all have Reikis, that it's at least tier 2, if not tier 3 Pack-a-Punch. It'll make the boss fight go a lot quicker. But if you access this computer, you're going to be using your D-pad to control this little yellow light that will move in a weird diagonal pattern, and you're going to need to move it over these different white lights, which are satellites in the sky, and you'll be looking for the bottom right image to show a question mark instead of a country's flag. You'll see a few United States flags, you'll see a few Russian flags. You'll be looking for the question mark, and if you press your X button to align it, that's going to activate this crazy sequence where there's going to be a massive satellite beams that are hitting around the entire map satellites, and you'll have to go to the OPC to activate the boss fight. Now, there isn't much strategy to this boss fight. It's just unloading as much ammo as you can onto the boss as possible, hitting him in the hole in his head. This is an ultimate guide, and we haven't even covered the high round strategy. So let's talk about the mid-game strategy of the 20s and 30s, and then let's go over the 2 high round strategies. We're not quite in the high rounds yet, so all we want to do is basically train around the helipad until we get to about the late 20s, perhaps early 30s, before we can go into the actual strat. But you want to be building up points, making sure you're getting all of the perks that you want, as well as getting the Reiki tier 3 papped. As you can see, I've already got it. This is the golden ticket. For high rounds, you're going to get so much ammo drops from the mimics that you're never going to need to ever worry about ammo. As I'm sure you know, the Reiki has 2 firing modes. It's got this normal fully auto that you're seeing, and then if we press up on the D-pad or B on PC, it's going to bring out this barrel which shoots this orb that slows down any zombies, and using a mixture of both, you then shoot the middle of the orb and it will explode any zombies around you. It's super effective. And you're going to want to get used to quickly switching between these modes, as that's how this strategy is going to work. And there's a bit of an awkward delay between these firing modes, but there is a way to bypass it. If you get out the barrel and then shoot, reload, and then quickly press your button to switch modes, it will completely get rid of the weird paused animation that normally plays out when you're switching, and allows you to instantly switch modes, which is fantastic. Once you've gone past round 30, there are 2 high round strats you can do. The first one is a lot more efficient if from the very beginning of the map you kept the middle door and the right door of the helipad shut. That way you only forcing zombies to spawn in from one place. So like I said, with this strategy, you only want to have the left door open and keep the barracks and the motor pool doors shut, and you're just going to camp on top of this crate. As you can see, we're going to be combining the use of the Reikei's orb blasting mode and then using our automatic mode to then shoot the orb, and any zombies that are going to be around this area are just going to get decimated. It's absolutely incredible. You can combine this with your Ring of Fire as well, because killing zombies with the orb and shooting it is going to kill a big majority of the zombies in the nearby area, which is going to fill up your Ring of Fire very quickly. And you'll be wanting to use your Ring of Fire primarily when there are mimics and manglers climbing up onto the box, as you'll be able to take them out a lot quicker. And this is all the strategy involves. You get so many mimics and manglers that you'll get ammo back for the wonder weapon very regularly, to the point where you won't ever really need to buy ammo for it from the ammo crates. But if you do need to, the ammo crate is literally right below you. It is absolutely incredible. Now, there are moments where mimics will jump onto this box if you don't time it correctly, and they can grab you, but there is a fail-safe method where you could just fall back to another crate which is further behind you. It's really such a simple and safe strategy that there is very little chance for you to take any immediate downs. And if you do, there is a crafting bench right in front of you where you can get another self-res. And I definitely recommend you have a backup kill streak just in case you do die, because whenever you use one of those and get out of them, the zombies will temporarily ignore you. So you have a little bit of time there to go and buy yourself a new kill streak. And if you do need to go get armor, just run into the planning offices and you'll be able to refill your armor in between rounds just like this, as it is a very easy and safe strategy to do. And yeah, it's definitely one of the best strats you'll find for this map. But there is one other which is a little more dangerous, but is at the moment the fastest strat in the game in terms of zombie spawns. Just before we get into that, we need to talk about how to deal with the Order boss assault wave rounds that you'll get every 10 rounds or so. Now, these don't get any more difficult when you get into the high rounds because the boss has the same amount of health. Now, I don't pull this off great in this particular run because for some reason my cruise missile just wouldn't hit the boss. But if you buy a cruise missile and aim it directly on the hole in its head at the very start of the wave, you will take it out in one and that will be it. Like, no joke, you seriously hit this thing once and its entire health will be gone and the round will be over. So if you miss like me, don't be an idiot, go back to the workbench, make yourself another one and try again. It almost feels like cheating, it's that easy. Let's roll on to the second strat, and this strategy has been created by the MC Zombie Slayer, and it's pretty much the penthouse strat from D Machine, but on this map. It is absolutely incredible, and it all takes place here in the weapon lab using the Ray K. Again, the combination of the orb mode, then switching your fire rate to the fully automatic to explode it is going to be key here. The door behind you, you want to keep shut at absolute all times, and your combination of recharging your ring of fire, using your ring of fire to just take out everything, and then using it again by, you know, shooting down the orb and then destroying all the zombies will recharge your ring of fire quickly enough that you can just pop it down again and you can go on an absolute tear, basically insta-killing all the zombies for a really long amount of time. Now, I was actually doing the strat incorrect in this video because what you should do is you should be up against the window to the left that the zombies are spawning from, because if you pop your ring of fire down there, the zombies are going to insta-die the moment they come out of that window, which is fantastic. Now, as you can see here, if you have a backup of a cruise missile or a chopper gunner, it's going to be incredibly useful if you get in a sticky situation where the zombies are cornering you, you're about to go down, just pop your kill streak, you'll be good to go. You have a very easy window to run out of here, run back to this crafting table and get yourself another kill streak. And what I didn't do that you can do is use the orb ability of the Ray K to slow the zombies down on your run towards that bench, because they'll be slowed down, giving you even more time, which is absolutely fantastic. Now, this is a bit of a risky strategy in comparison to the previous one we showed you, as this definitely needs a lot of constant coordination and concentration so you don't mess up, because if you don't time the firing modes correctly, then you are going to have a bit of a sticky situation here. And there are moments where, you know, we're only on round 50 at the moment and the zombie spawns are a little slow, but round 55 onwards, you're going to have constant sprinters. So having the orb down and then shooting it and then getting your ring of fire back is just going to speed this process up even more, that you'll complete rounds within like 2 minutes, if that. You get so many boss zombies from this that they drop constant armor and ammo for your Ray K that you'll never need to go and buy ammo for it. But if you do, you can always just run into the motor pool to get the max ammo crate that's in there. If you want to buy armor in between rounds, you've got an arsenal machine right in front of you where this strategy is. It's absolutely amazing. Now, if you do go down and you need to get perks, then it does get a little bit fishy, as you're going to have to do some training in the courtyard spawn room and definitely have a kill streak ready to pop there as well in case you get stuck. Decoy grenades, monkey bombs are going to be incredibly useful in giving you a split-second window to go and rebuy your self-revive and your perks. This is without question the fastest strategy to get to round 100 plus on FIREBASE Z out of any location you'll find on the map. It is absolutely incredible, and again, massive shout out to MC Zombie Slayer for creating this strategy. But I hope you guys enjoyed this ultimate guide. This was a mammoth video to put together, so I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you got to this part, clearly you enjoyed it, so please leave a like rating on your way out and be sure to subscribe to the channel, as I post tons of videos just like this one. I've done a video just like this on D Machine, and I'll do one for every single Cold War Zombies map. Thank you for watching. Let me know if it helped in the comments, and peace out. If you love zombie posters, I have an incredible Cold War Zombies poster that's just launched that you can grab via the link in the description. It is a full-on movie-size poster, double-ended, with Perk in D Machina and Samantha Maxis in the Dark Ether. You can have it up whichever way you want. It looks fantastic. If you want to grab one, there is a link in the description, along with my Cold War Zombies perk poster pack that now contains the Tombstone perk as well. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon.